a little bit dark. Okay, yeah, so today Namibia was celebrating Heroes Day with, they came together to remember what happened and the heroes that fought for this country. So a group of friends decided to have an event in one of the most impoverished areas in Windhoek called Havana. The aim of the event was for people to discuss about issues that are going on in their communities. And so I was very privileged to meet my friends so we can get to discuss about these issues. At the moment, we have seen a lot of young people that are not very much involved and being active in these issues. So I was impressed when I was informed of what was going to happen. So I'm not alone on this. I'm with some of the organizers of the event, and I just want to ask them about what they think about the struggles that Namibia has faced over the past 28 years and what they think should be the way forward. The people of this country have gone through a lot of problems, and they are still trying. At the moment, the GDP of Namibia stands at 4,000 US dollars, which is one of the things that we checked the other day. And it's quite worrying because GDP obviously affects only the investment of the West. When they come in, they check the GDP and they get encouraged by that. But on the ground, the people, the ordinary citizens are going through difficult problems. They are having issues that are so difficult to solve. And the government is trying, but then the issues are mounting over and over again. So I'll ask some of my colleagues to analyze what they think, what Heroes Day means to them, and to give an analysis of the event that just happened where we brought together different people from the community of Havana to discuss about community developments in the area. So I'll hand over to my friend Tjova Florinda to talk about these issues and what she thinks about the event that we just held. So she'll be the next person to speak on this broadcast.
Hello Namibia, my name is Tjova. We gathered here today to talk about social issues that are threatening young Namibian, or the youth in particular. We remember today is the Heroes Day, which was commemorated in Kavanga West. We are glad that our country has been liberated and we are free now. So we therefore need to free our mind and act independently in contributing to issues and matters that affect us as youth. I spoke about women empowerment. Well, in the context of Namibia, women empowerment is simply defined as the process of improving economic, social, and political legal strength of women. So we actually want women to have the same, to share the same right as men. So they say that when you educate a woman and empower her, you educate the society and the community. So women actually in our communities do not stand up until when they are confronted with challenges and difficulties. So a woman is like a tea bag. You will not know its strength until it's put in hot water. So mostly women, they just stand up when they are confronted with difficulties. So we would therefore want to empower women through the Women Initiative, a Women Empowerment Initiative, which my friend Jeffrey and I have initiated. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate your analysis. But like I said, there was one woman that spoke about the burial site in Windhoek called Heroes Eka. She spoke about things that got me worried. She mentioned things like the burial site having electricity and water. You see, in the community of Havana, it's one of the most forgotten places in Windhoek. Windhoek is regarded as the second cleanest city in Africa. But then the only thing that is spoken about this city is that it has clean places, it's got clean suburbs, it's got clean residential areas. But people don't talk about the real issues that are going on within ordinary Namibians. How can we be able to help people that are living in Havana, that are living in a two-room shack? How can we be able to provide electricity to these people? There's a friend of mine that spoke about making the councillors accountable for the decisions that they make. How can we make sure that we request a councillor to give the services that they promised when they first ran for office? So these are the issues that were being discussed, and it was really a very fruitful engagement, and we are optimistic that it's going to continue like that, and I'm hoping that my friends will continue to do such things, because there's nothing more fulfilling in this world than engaging in community development, because you are helping young people to get involved, you are helping elderly people to get involved, and in that way you are helping Namibia to move forward as a country. So in this vein, I'm going to hand it over to one of the organizers of this event to also highlight of what he thinks Namibia has come so far, and the plans that Namibia has had, and the issues that are at the heart of people's problems. How do we make sure that ordinary Namibians benefit from the things that are going on in the country? So I'll hand it over to him to give an analysis of this event, and perhaps talk about the things that I did not really take into consideration.
Hello, Namibia. It's Jeffrey Shapange. It's one of the organizers, the comrade has said. I'm glad that he's even asking me in our day, Heroes Day. To me, when you're talking about the heroes, you're talking about people who are able to stand up for others. Even though that's not the real motive behind, because we are celebrating those guys that have lost their lives during the liberation struggle, during the apartheid eras. We are thankful to what they have done for us. But in some cases, like for 28 years now, I feel like celebrating this day, it should be just like celebrating the day you got your new girlfriend, probably, because it's becoming useless now. Because you cannot tell me that I'm celebrating Heroes Day, whereby I have no basic needs. Because the most thing that is it's a problem now in this country is that the government or people in power, they have forgotten about the voters. They've forgotten about people who put them on power. Like, how can you lead a country for 28 years but you fail to provide basic needs such as water, electricity, and maybe sanitary? You failed, but yet you are very proud to have gatherings like maybe celebrating these days that you have made progress so far. Yes, you could, but to me, development is not infrastructure. Development is when you are providing basic needs to people in need. All right, like now we have been talking about, I have presented on the issue of radicalism, or the need of radicalism among the youth, because the youth are the future leaders. I cannot speak on behalf of the people under or above the age of 50 or 60, because those people, what they are only waiting for, they are waiting for their burial day. But for the youth, at least they have energy to bring change about, because they are the one going to live, for example, for next 20 years. So whatever their decision they are going to make is going to favor them, because they know they will be there. But someone in the age of 70, I remember one African leader was saying, someone in the age of 80 leading you to where? To the casket, to the burial, or what? To heaven, or where? So I spoke about the need of radicalism. It's true that we are the custodians. I put you in power, I expect you to deliver. Therefore, if I come to your office asking for the service, demanding the service, don't regard me as a disrespectful person, because I'm demanding. I'm rightfully allowed to demand from you, because you were knocking at my door, you wanted me to vote for you, then you agree that you are going to give what I'll be in need with. Therefore, I feel like the youth need to stand up. They need to stand up in unity. They need to be radical. They need to be militant. There's no need of negotiation, funny negotiation. You just need to be radical. You go to the certain office, the government office, that yes, I need this and that. There's nothing like, I'm not going to ask for a favor. Neither. I'm going to demand for the service. They should take note of that I'm going to demand, because you came to me, that I should vote for you. and putting you in power, I expect you to give or to render service to me. So, just to highlight is that since 1990 right now, Namibia did well in some sectors or in other things. But I feel like 70% it failed. The government has failed. Because, as I said, development associated with basic needs. This is Havana. I'm at Havana right now, resettlement. The most, as the comrade said, is the most forgotten place it could be in Namibia. People have no toilets, people have no water, people have no electricity. Someone living in the city but goes and collect firewood to cook in a city. But someone is not considering that. He's more willing to take investment seriously. And it's the investment that's draining Africa. Like Africa continent is being drained by investment, foreign investment. To me, they help, but in most cases they are draining. As my comrade says that now they are using the GDP to measure the development or to measure the living standard of the people. But have they come to the settlement like Havana and see what's happening? Have they come to settlement like maybe Horeha and see what's happening? Have they gone deep in the village and see what's happening? Because the most of people that come like the West, like maybe American or wherever, the UKs and Chinese, where they go? They go to places like the posh suburbs in Windhoek. They never come here. If they are coming here, they even come here in protection. Why? Because they know that the crime in this area is high. The crime can be only high when people have no basic needs. Because it's obvious, I cannot be starving in Havana. I have to go and steal. I have to go and damage other people's property. Because there is no basic need for me. Education, you cannot rely on education. Because education now has become a very useless tool. They send you to school. When you come back, you are unemployed. What is that? But the country has never worked towards in terms of education. Our education is not answering to the demand of what the country needs. Someone studying Asia, for example, 1,000 students studying Asia, where are you going to work, all of you? But the government failed to work on technical maybe colleges. Because technical colleges, maybe we have plumbers there, we have builders there, we have whatever. Those people, if they are there, enough, if they can do all the infrastructure, then we can have HR offices. But now we have HR offices, but no buildings. It's really funny. And the issue of unemployment is, the unemployment right now, according to 2016 stats, stands at 34.5% or 0.6 somewhere there. But mind you, we still have 800, the record says more than or plus or minus 800,000 people who got retrenched in 2 years. Which 2 years? 2017 and 2018. Which might give us 70% of unemployment rate in the country. But yet, we are celebrating Independence Day, we are celebrating Heroes Day. What are we celebrating? Especially in the case of Independence Day. What are you celebrating? Maybe Heroes Day we are commemorating what other comrades have done in the past. But independence, what are you independent to? We have the issue of Chinese taking over. These are the serious issues. Even worldwide, the Chinese are becoming a problem. But yet, we are developing countries and we are allowing these guys to come in to the pretext of investment. So, to me, development in the country ever since 1990, it has been on a snail pace because of the leaders' ignorance. They don't want to take the youth advice seriously. They don't want to take the youth seriously. They don't want to take voters seriously. Because all what they care about their brains. You see them in the political parties, they are fighting for position. Fighting for position, we have that African proverb that say, when two elephants are fighting, the grass suffer. So now they are fighting for their political bread there. But the voters are suffering. Comes election times, they are all sweet and cool. All of a sudden. So I feel like we need this kind of meetings to come together with the community and discuss about the things, how to get ourselves out of poverty. Especially, I think there's a need for us to do it without government's assistance because they are not willing to help us. They are not willing to help us. Do you think the government will come and knock at your door and say, comrade, here's a job? It's you have to go out there and knock for the job. That's why we called for this meeting to come together with the youth and discuss and deliberate issues affecting the society or the contemporary issues in the society. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the fact that my colleagues came together to speak about these things. Like he mentioned that aid is one of the things that are affecting Africa in the fact that so many African nations are accepting aid, but they do not know how to pay back that aid. Once the aid has been accumulated, the country remains in huge debts. And that means as communities, they are the ones that are going to pay back that amount of money. So I'm really proud of the fact that we attended such an event and we listened to people talk about the issues that are going on in the communities and how they can be able to resolve those issues. And I believe if these things continue and as it is, if we begin to engage as many young people as we begin to engage as many citizens, because these issues do not just belong to young people. They're not issues that are only being affected by certain age group. There are issues that are affecting us from generation to generation. We are living in a community where each and every time the levels of poverty are transferred from one generation to another. Now, how do we make sure that as a community of citizens we can be able to solve these kinds of issues? Being on social media alone does not help. Being tough on these issues while not finding solutions to them does not help. It is only if we come together as a community, it is only if we find solutions to these issues by engaging and hearing what each and every individual is bringing to the table. So we're very thankful that we had this event, and I think we'll leave it here for now. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.